Welcome back to Digiburst, guys. We're back with a match on the channel again. I'm playing against I'm playing with version 2, DM, against Adventure. We go into a rookie in the back, we go trading, and then into a Garurumon there. Nice passive turn, good to get the sources under. They'll start with the Tentamon in the back. And then they want to start getting their tamers out as quickly as possible, so they'll just play the Mimi Joe there. I want to get a really early push in here. We're trading to go put a source under. This will trigger the egg to evo up for reduced cost by 1. Being reduced by the 2 face down sources, we'll go into the Vademon. So this is only 1 cost. The Vademon can trash that source to put the tamer back in hand. So I'm just being super aggressive here, trying to make sure we keep off their tamers. Into the Gabu, we're going to look at top 3. This will add the Gabu in the bottom source and the Gizmon back in hand. So I've got a rookie to go into the nursery there. So they're back to square 1 here with just a rookie on board. They're going to push out their Tentamon, and then they'll just play the double tamer, put me on 3. The Tentamon is doing some funny work, preventing the reduction of evolutions. So this will be my Vademon and my trainings, as well as my egg. So we'll just go into, not trainings, my meat, sorry. We'll go into the Betamon trading, and then when I attack with the Vademon, I can trash my face down to remove a Mimi Joe. I can then either, we're going to trash that source with the inherent effect first when I swing, so that when I go into my Invisimon, when I delete the Tentomon, he's not going to get the undeletion effect. I'm going to flip over that source as well. And then we can just put them on as few of memory as possible into a meat, get that draw. They're going to hatch that egg. They've only got 2 memory now, so if they play a tamer, then they're passing turn. That's what I want to be seeing. I want to sort of like play a little bit toxic, where if they want to get out 2 tamers or 4 colors, then they have to pass turn to do it. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Invisimon's going to go in, hide into my security, set up the trap, trading the Betamon, get another source under there, and then we can just get the Gabumon off board, because I don't know if it's going to be surviving there, but I do hit another tamer there. Now that he's got 4 colors, he can start pushing forward. It's not really what I wanted to see, but I am in a pretty good spot with this Invisimon coming out at the end of his turn, after his crackback here. So he pushes out his Gabumon. He's got 4 memory to work with, so he's got plenty to work with. The Gabu will restand with the analog youth effect, and then we'll go into the Berdra to go into the Metal Greymon for free. Metal Greymon can digital something by 2 because he's got 4 colors as tamers. Brings it back to a rookie, turning off my ace play. I think I might have had an ace play lined up for it, that's why I kept it as a Vademon. And then playing out the level 4 there to go into the Lily. He's going to pluck away both my rookies, but I can go out to Invisimon. Vizzy's going to flip over the security, Digivolve his Metal Grey, and then we're going to remove the Lilymon. This can trigger his Our Courage United. I wanted to trigger it before I started my turn, so that when he plays out the guy, I can crack back with my push. So he'll play the Lily. He wants to keep his ace play open, I think. So even though the Lily isn't removing anything, it still leaves open the possibility to ace me. Which is good, because I potentially have lethal here if I have the right lineup. So I'm going to push out my Betamon. We're going to use the analog to slot under a source. He did check me on 1, so that will prevent a little bit. That will minimize as much as they can. Get the draw, get the memory. This can trigger the egg if I want to trigger the egg here. But I think we're just thinking about what level 4 we're going into. We'll go into the Capitari for the 1 cost, reduced by 1 by the egg. From here we can slot under a source to suspend the Gabumon, and it won't suspend at end of turn, at that start of their turn. So we'll go into the meat to reduce the evo into the, I think this is the, we need to slot a source under it, of course, at first, to go into the Metal Mame. For 1 cost we'll draw. Metal Mame will slot under a Digimon from my trash. Always get the non-version 2s, but through the Metal Mame effect. because you want to keep as many version 2s in trash to trigger Digimons going forward. So the Metal Mom is going to punch over the Gomamon, and they're going to fetch back the Metal Greymon with the inherent effect on deletion. So then we're just going to go into the Veggie. We've got 4 in trash. We made sure we had 4 in trash first. This is why we put the Invisi in the trash underneath as a source, because otherwise I wouldn't have enough to go into the Vademon here. We'll draw. Vademon's going to trigger the when Digimon effect to trash out the bottom face down and return the Joe Mimi back to hand. Now they have 3 memory. They can put down a Tamer and then slam a level 4 to do the effect, but I've got such a wide board here that I don't really mind what they do here. So they have to spend a lot of memory to set up the trap with the Courage Ignited. It means they can't go into the 4 to go into the 5, so they're going to spend a lot of memory to get the Metal Grey out. They're digivolving the Vademon, because the Vademon's really nasty, would remove a Tamer, and it potentially evos up for some things here. So we go into the Rookie in the back. We're just going to not commit too much. We're just going to swing with the Metal Mame, suspend the Metal Grey so it can't potentially block when it evos up. He's reading the ace here, thinking about what he wants to do. I've got a Black War Grey Digibursting in my hand in case something happens to any of my other guys. So I've got a trick up my sleeve in case this doesn't work out. So we're going to swing into the Invisi. He's going to ace here, removing the Vegemon, but it doesn't stop the Invisi swing. So this is lethal if he doesn't prevent it, then of course he can't. So we're going to go into the next game. Into game 2, he makes me star. We'll go into, we don't have a rookie, so we'll just meet and get the draw. Hopefully we get that rookie very soon. They've got their rookie, they'll go into their nursery here and then just set up a Izzy tie. We do find that rookie. Gizamon's going to train. Have a look at that face down source when I train. And then we're just going to set up the Analog Youth, nice passive turn, wait for him to commit to the board so I can be really impactful with my push. They're just going to set another tie Izzy. In my adventure deck, I only play the one tie Izzy. It's the weakest of all the tamers, so potentially if it was a better tamer, if it was a different tamer, he would have set up his 3 colors already. But yeah, different story. Into the Memboost, we're going to fetch that Invisimon, so we're set up. We think we're just waiting on the level 5, but he hasn't put out a Digimon on the board yet, so we're not too fussed. Into the Courage United, get a nice passive turn. They still haven't set up their 3 colors yet. We'll just go trading. We're fine just playing passive here, waiting for the Vademon. So we're just going to go for Gabumon. Gabum's going to look at top 3, try to find the Vademon. Just like Analog Youth, and we're just going to let turn pass. Let's see what they do here. They can tap Tamer to play out their Tentamon. Tentamon's a bit funny because it will prevent my reduction through the egg and my Vademon. So it's a pretty good play here. Also the meat, because the meat is a evolution reduction. Analog Youth will tuck under the Gabu. We're going to tap, we're going to gain a memory, gain a card. Keeping the Digimon in the back there because we don't want to commit to a play yet. We've got a already Digimon on the board, so we can start using. Into the Kabutari. Kabutari can put a source under to suspend the Tentamon. And then this will be a nice way to remove it because I can just punch over it here. Very, very solid. Easy cleanup. We can go into the Vademon now to remove a Tamer. This is reduced by 2 costs, so it's a 2 cost evolution. To go and remove that Tamer. Bounce it back, and they can start their turn on 1, restarting the Vademon with the Analog Youth. They can push out, but it's not an effective push out if they don't have more than 2 color tamers. So the Digimon's coming out, they'll swing, I'll let that go through, and they hit the Vademon. They're going to get the on-deletion and grab back the Tentamon. Not really sure how effective this move is, but it does trick me on wanting to get out the Tentamon, and prevents the cost reduction for the evolution. So I can push out my Digimon here, set up Analog Youth on the trigger to slot a card under to get a memory, draw a card. This would trigger the egg but it doesn't reduce the evolution. So when I go into a 4 here, it is for full cost, or 2. My opponent corrects me on that because the Tentomon. Yep. So it throws up my math a little bit, but I've still got a way to remove it. So we'll swing with the Vademon. Vademon's going to suspend the Tentomon, and then I can trash out the source to bounce back that tamer. Now I have no tamers on board. Hit a Courage United, but I prefer that rather than a tamer. So the Garumon's going to punch over the Tentomon now, and now I can reduce the evolution when I go into a Vademon or something going forward. We're going to pitch the boost, and then we're going to set up the Invisimon. I'm not too afraid of whatever they bring out. I'm going to flip over their security and restand with the Garurumon. Now when I swing with the Invisi going forward, I can set up the trap. They'll just play a tie so they can have a nice memory setter so they can play a tamer and potentially start pushing out. But if I can find another Vademon, then that tie is going back in their hand anyway. Analog Youth's going to slot under a source. We're not going to get the memory draw because I've already got cards in hand. I don't want to trigger it yet. I want to do some tricks with the Vademon and Digimon. So we have plenty of sources, so the Vademon is a free evolution. Bounce back that tie, so nasty. Invisimon's going to swing in, hit the tamer, set up the trap with the Invisi, and now we can go into the absolute king. Not yet, we're going to the rookie, we're going to train. I think it's here at this point. Yes, we go into the king, Digibursting Black War Grey. This can Digiburst to unsuspend, so when I swing, we're going to be checking all the stuff. I've got like 10 sources underneath there. I can unsuspend 5 times, so that is clearly game. So yeah, that will clean that one up. If you like this game, I'm going to be putting another match out against the Fish Liberator deck in the next few days. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, check that out. I've also got a profile coming out of this deck very soon. I've also got this deck against CS. So if you want to subscribe, check out these videos, and we'll see you next time.